going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. The weekend is here. Although there's no Arsenal, man, I don't know. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I suppose we have to embrace the little break and the drama and the waffle settings of Arteta and a little time away from it. But then watching an England game, I don't really know if that's going to hype us up too much either. But it is what it is, people. Got quite a bit to talk about today. Big up everyone locked in. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And, of course, there is injury problems at Arsenal once again, which we always seem to have injury problems for some reason. It just seems to be the Arsenal way. That's what happens when you train on a car park, people. But, hey, big up to all the community locked in. Hope you're all well. Not liking these unk shouts, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to embrace that one, but it is what it is. Big up the people. Sparshad, I'm actually on time for this stream today. Maybe was I on time? 2 minutes. Not too bad. But big up to everyone locked in, man. Hope you're well. Boring weekend? Nah, man, you got to find something to do, you know? Although the international football is not great, I'm not going to lie. Lamia said, why did we buy a centre-back for left-back? Not expect him to get injured, even though he has a terrible record. We'll talk about it. Big up Marcel. I'm here so much I'm starting to feel like a bloody gooner. He's just there to see the pain that we're going through while he, you know, sails off into the sunset with the Premier League title. You know what I mean? I know what Marcel's doing, but I respect it. I respect it. Big up yourself, bro. Solo, big up Big C and the C unit. Hope everyone's well. And let's get the likes up. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, people. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Right, where are we going to start? We'll start with some of the international football that happened last night. And that is, we're going to start with Zinchenko. Zinchenko, oh, always believe in your soul. Zinchenko last night against Belgium, putting in another top quality centre midfield performance, people. Basically, he played in that left 8 role for the majority of the game, but they battered Belgium 3-1. Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Trossard, Kung Fu Panda was on the left, so of course it ain't going to go well. And he puts in a fantastic performance as well. You know, got an assist, 3 key passes in the game, 90% pass accuracy. I'm telling you something, and I've said it before. If Zinchenko leaves Arsenal this summer and we haven't given him a serious run in centre midfield, I think we've made a mistake. I think we've made a mistake because I genuinely think there's a good centre midfielder there. I really do. He's good on the ball. And as I always say, people, this guy is a midfielder. He was put at left back for Man City because Mendy was on bail. Goes at left back, wins the title. We go and buy him and play him at left back. He's not a left back. He's not a left back. He did a job there for City while they were short. You know, it's like when Fabian Delph went at left back. The moment he left and went to Everton, he went back to midfield. This guy is not a left back. If you're classing him as a left back, get rid of him this summer. He's not good enough, right? Get him out. If you're classing him as a centre midfielder, I think there is potential for him to play in that role and do something there. I think Zinny is good on the ball. Mac, that's actually a bang on. Curtis, you really want the manager to play players in their natural positions? I mean, I suppose I'm asking for too much. I'm asking for too much. If you're a left back, you'll play centre mid. If you're a centre back, you'll play left back. If you're a striker, you'll play in midfield. If you're a midfielder, you'll play up front. It's crazy. It's crazy. Zinny could genuinely save us money in the summer. Because if Jorginho and Partey go, we're going to need to probably buy 2 centre mids. Zinny might be one of them centre mids. I don't know. I don't know, but I think the fact that we haven't even given him a sustainable run of 5-6 games in a row, I think is crazy. He's in his mid-20s. He's good on the ball. He plays there for his country. He was good against England, and he was good last night against Belgium. These are not small teams that he's performing against. But, you know, it's inverted, so it's probably too simple to think that he should play in midfield. Trossard played in the game, didn't do anything. And he hasn't really done anything for Arsenal for a while either. Some other international stuff that happened last night. France got beat 2-0 by Croatia. Saliba played. France were poor. They got torn apart, really. Saliba didn't look great. Konate came off at half-time. Upamecano came on. And France got kind of dealt with. I got to be honest with France, man. I think a lot of their problems at the moment are down to their manager. I know he has won the World Cup before Didier Deschamps, but he looks finished to me as the French manager. Consistently plays Rabiot for some reason. And picks Kolo Muani as well. I just don't understand that guy's tactics. He's overly defensive. And France didn't look great. They really didn't. This is one of the teams that you would expect to be a favourite for the World Cup. But yeah, I agree. I think it's time for them to get Zidane. I mean, I've wanted Zidane at Arsenal, but France, I think, should have got rid of Deschamps after the Euros and gone with Zidane for the World Cup. A little bit more attacking. Mbappe back. Can France lose? Saliba play, and what a surprise. Well, I'm not going to blame those guys totally, but I didn't like the team that he picked. It was strange. He picked Luca Digne at left back over Theo Hernandez. He put Camavinga on the bench because of Rabiot. He's playing Kolo Muani up front. His tactics were absolutely dreadful. Mikel Merino, Arsenal striker, quote unquote striker at the moment. Scores a late equaliser last night against Holland 2-2, or the Netherlands. 2-2 draw. Timber is out with illness at the moment, so hopefully he won't be unavailable when Arsenal come back in about 10 days' time. Merino came off the bench, scored a 93rd minute equaliser. Nico Williams scored the first goal for Spain in that game. David Raya was an unused sub on the bench. They play that Unai Simon in goal ahead of David Raya. I actually think Raya's a better goalkeeper than him. Am I wrong there? Is it Holland or the Netherlands? What do we really call them? I'm old school. I've always sort of called them Holland, but is it the Netherlands? Am I doing them a disservice? Everybody calls them... Anytime I look online, it's put down as the Netherlands, but I always call them Holland. I don't know. Nico Williams, good goal, very lively in that game. I got to be honest, I only watched the highlights, but he looked very lively. And we're going to speak about him in this show. Apparently, Arsenal are leading the race to get Nico Williams. Some people want him at the club, some people don't. I'm kind of in between. He's very quick, he's very lively, there's a lot of potential. £51 million is very good money. But the problem is, how would he perform against a low block? You know, so it's interesting. It is interesting. Holland only applies to the northern part. That's why they changed it. Jim said it's the Netherlands. Holland is a region within the Netherlands. Fair enough. Listen, you learn something every day, people. Joba said we have a midfielder at left back, 2 midfielders at centre forward, 4 centre backs at left back, and a right back. Kivior, Calafiori, Timber, and Ben White. A DM in centre mid. It's a joke. The more you say it, it's we're an inverted football team with an inverted manager. You know, it's crazy. Part-time party, it was Kvara or bust for me. Put all that money on Isak and get a coach that can improve Martinelli. Listen, I'm with you on that. You know, I'm in that school of thought. But yeah, good performance from Zinchenko. Can he fulfill that midfield role? Big up Nazami. Thank you very much for the super sticker, bro. Hope you are well. Wasted opportunity on the Dutch impression, says Kembo. Yeah, maybe I could have got the little Dutch impression there, you know, the Steve McLaren. This report came out today. Coming out of Spain, don't know how true this is or not. Zubimendi. Zubi. The guy that apparently the deal is, it's done. It's done according to reporters in England. You know, he's already practically holding up the shirt. Well, not according to reports in Spain, people. 3 targets this summer, according to reports. One is Trent Alexander-Arnold, 99% done according to them. Dean Huijsen, is it? Huijsen Source, people. Who plays for... He plays for Bournemouth, don't he, I think? Young centre-back. 50 million release clause. And the other one, the club wants him. There will be a tight race for Zubimendi against Arsenal. And that just my school of thought on this is, I'm just putting this into simplistic terms, people. Simplistic terms. Zubimendi, centre mid, plays for Spain, Spanish player. Arsenal are advanced in negotiations with signing him, getting him from Real Sociedad. There's also a release clause as well. And Real Madrid turn up and say they want to sign him. If you're Zubimendi, are you telling me he's rejecting Arsenal? He's rejecting Real Madrid, to go to Arsenal. Are you telling me? Is somebody telling me that under real circumstances? Because I don't see it. I don't see it for 1 second. Now, maybe Real Madrid are not desperate for him. When you look at Real Madrid's squad, they've got Valverde, they've got Bellingham, they've got Tchouaméni, they've got Camavinga, they've got Luka Modric. They are stacked in midfield. But I did read that they may let go of Camavinga, which I think is unbelievable because I love Camavinga. I would love to take him at Arsenal. But there's rumours that he's not happy with the amount of game time he's getting, which is why he's probably not getting in the French team. And then Luka Modric is out of contract in the summer. Will they extend him for a year? Maybe, maybe not. So maybe he comes to Arsenal. Yeah, they've got Ceballos as well. Maybe Zubimendi comes to Arsenal because you're a guaranteed starter. You go to Real Madrid, you might be rotated. It's just, I can't think of many times in football history where a player, particularly a Spanish player, has rejected Real Madrid to come to Arsenal. Would be quite unbelievable. Junior said, I pray Madrid get Zubimendi. Watched him again yesterday. He is mid and not a level raiser. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest. And I'm putting this out there before anything happens. If it does happen, or it doesn't happen. I don't want people to say, oh, you're only saying that because we didn't sign him, or you're only saying that because we did sign him. For me, Zubimendi concerns me. Zubimendi concerns me. Is he... Listen, technically, he's probably ideally what Mikel Arteta wants. He wants a 6 that is super comfortable on the ball, that can receive the ball on the half turn, that will start attacks in a similar way to what Rodri does for Manchester City. So I totally understand that. The things that concern me when I've watched him, the guy is super lightweight, he's not that quick, and he's not that tall. Now, when you look at the best number 6s, not only can they play, usually there's some physical presence, because there's going to be a time where you're the 6, you've got to protect the back 4. Surely we're going to need some physicality in that. And I don't see a lot of that. When I watch Zubimendi play, I think you're a fantastic player in La Liga, in the Spanish national team. He doesn't strike me as a Premier League number 6. He just doesn't. I'll be totally honest. On the ball, yes. Off the ball, I'm not so sure. He does. He looks like a younger Jorginho to me. And that concerns me. You put him against people like Decore or De Bruyne or Joe Linton or Bruno Guimaraes, I think they're absolutely savaging him like an XL bully. Honestly, I'm not totally convinced by this guy. I'm really not, and I'm calling it early, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he comes to Arsenal. He's the best number 6 in the league. But I don't know if he's what we actually need. I mean, Martin said Zubi is fine if you pair him with powerhouses, which we won't do. Jorginho at Napoli was the truth. He was, but as you said, at Napoli. Rice, Rodri, and Onana, they were all massive. I mean, you look at Rodri in the 6. He's a big guy as well. Not only is he great on the ball, he can physically, he can bully you at times. So for me, it feels like we're signing the number 6 version of Fabio Vieira. That you got to take him to the Jamaican shop, get in some jerk chicken, some rice, and some dumpling, and put some weight on him. Zubimendi at Anfield, Zubimendi at St James's Park, Zubimendi at the Etihad. I'm not so sure. You know, I'm not so sure. I think you can get away with that sometimes in the 8 role or the 10 role. Mesut Ozil, David Silva, they float between the lines. They don't engage physically that much. In the 6... I've never really watched Zubimendi and think that's what we need. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a very talented, technically gifted player. You saw it in the Euros final. He was fantastic against England. But in the Prem and what we're looking for in midfield, I'm concerned. Because you've got to remember, you're looking at Zubimendi and Odegaard in the same midfield. So then the only power of any kind that you've got is Declan Rice. That's the only one. Now imagine Rice gets injured. Not for me. I'll be totally honest, people. You give me the opportunity this summer, I'm not buying Zubimendi, not for Arsenal. Not taking anything away from his game. I don't think that's what we need. I don't think that's what we need at all. That 6 role has become pivotal. You look at the best teams in world football right now. Real Madrid's 6 is Tchouaméni. Manchester City's 6 is Rodri. Liverpool have put Gravenberch back there. You know, not for me, Zubimendi. He's not the guy. I would take Reinders from AC Milan, absolute baller. Benji said totally agree. Cam said he was great against England because Kane was at DM and Bellingham was left wing. Yeah, Southgate tax. Did you see Tonali yesterday? Tonali's outstanding. Tonali is outstanding. It was worth the 10-month ban for them to wait for him. He is class. 70 million from AC Milan. You know, he was never going to be, he's always going to be successful in the Prem. Highbury Zocal Badger. Zubimendi is not built for the Prem. Rodri was. I want Camavinga. So, yeah, 100% I want Camavinga, man. Ayadeji, Zubi should go to Madrid. We should go for Camavinga. And big up my bro Akeem. I think Berta will make the right decisions. That's the best signing so far. Listen, I'm gonna drop a video this weekend about Berta actually and go into more detail. He's got a huge job at Arsenal, absolutely massive. And the key thing is with Berta is how much power is he gonna get? Was it 53 million for Tonali? Wow. How much power is Berta gonna get? Edu, let's be honest, walked out of Arsenal because the power was being taken away from him. And it was being given to Arteta. That's why he left the club. Let's just say it as it is. Berta needs to be given the power. And surely he would have had that discussion prior to joining. When will Arsenal announce him? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because they said it, it's done. But I'm sure it will be announced soon. They should raid the tomb for Tonali and Isak. Do you know one thing that I want to be clear with is this is probably the worst time that anybody could raid Newcastle. There's 4 or 5 players at Newcastle that I look at and I think, boy, I'd sign him. We'd all take Isak. We'd all take Tonali. We'd all take Bruno Guimaraes. I actually think Joel Linton's an absolute beast as well. I'd take him as part of the squad. He's an animal. Gordon, I mean, I wouldn't want Gordon, but he's better than what Trossard's performing at on that left-hand side. I actually think Sven Botman's a fantastic centre-back as well. And Hall's a very good left-back as well, long-term. But I don't think Newcastle will lose any of their big players this summer. None of them. None of those guys, in my opinion, will leave Newcastle this summer. They are on the up. They've got a massive stadium, brilliant fan base. They're building a new training ground, apparently. They've got a manager that plays good football. They've just won a trophy. All they need to do is figure out those PSR things and how to fix that, and you will see the spending power that they've got. They have got money that we have never seen in world football. They're just being restricted by PSR and financial fair play. I'll be honest, if I was Newcastle, if I was a player at Newcastle, I would not be in a rush to get out of that football club. You know, if they figure things out, you could be looking at the new Man City in the next 5 years. They've got more money than Man City had. And look at the dominance Man City have had in the Premier League. Now, there was no PSR, and Man City obviously manipulated that. So it is more difficult. But Newcastle, they just need to go and sign that one superstar again. And you saw it last season with Newcastle. Everybody was saying last season, they're going to have to sell Bruno Guimaraes in the summer there, to balance the books. They sold a couple of fringe players, man. You know what I mean? Elliot Anderson went to Forest. Was it Minter went to Brighton? And the books were balanced. They'll probably sell some of the squad players to balance the books. So, Yeah, there's no problem at all for Newcastle. I think that project's going to get stronger and stronger. Get the likes up, people. Let's get to 1K likes. Berta starting work from Monday. I hope you're right there. I really hope so. Big up, Matt. I hope you're well, bro. Berta is the most important signing in a long time. It'll more than likely get announced at the end of the season. I also think Newcastle will add instead of subtract. They're only going to get better, bro. You can see how emotionally attached those players are as well. Oh, listen. When you finish this show, don't do it now. Or you can do it now. Just don't click off the screen. The Panama players last night. I think it was a late equalizer against America. The guy who scored said Thierry Henry was his hero. Thierry Henry is sitting behind the goal on a stage with CBS Sports. The guy scores in the last minute, climbs onto the stage, and just hugs Thierry Henry and starts jumping around, celebrating with him. And then all the teammates did the same thing. Henry's in the middle of it, just getting, Thierry. While Clint Dempsey, former American international, is standing right next to it like, oh my God, these lot are just dunking on my head top right now. The Thierry aura is unrivaled. I've said for a long time, and I want to make this abundantly clear, and I'm saying this to everybody, it is absolutely scandalous, and I mean scandalous, capital S, that Thierry Henry does not work for Arsenal Football Club in some shape or form. Now, we know deep down Thierry would probably want to be the manager, but it's not going to happen. Can you imagine being a young striker at Arsenal and Thierry Henry, even if he comes in once a week and he works with the young strikers at finishing, shooting practice, movements? Can you imagine the gems that he would be dropping on young strikers with Thierry Henry working on the training ground? It would be a dream. It would be a dream for a young striker to be learning off Thierry. And this is one thing I really, really do not like about Arsenal. If you are an outspoken former player, they don't bring you anywhere near the football club. The only way you will work for Arsenal as an ex-player is if you cap for the club and cap for the manager and everything around the club. That's the only way. Petit, nowhere near the club. Vieira, nowhere near the club. Thierry Henry, nowhere near the football club. For me, the greatest player the Premier League's ever seen. Why is he not working at Arsenal? Why is he not working at Arsenal? But they'll have Ian Wright there. They'll have Ray Parlour there. They'll have all these guys because these guys won't say one bad word about the football club. And for me, they're making a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Thierry Henry should be working for Arsenal. Even if it's part-time, even if it's once a month, he should be in that building. But they won't do it because he's too big a character. He's too outspoken. So they say, keep him away from the club. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But Thierry's the GOAT of Arsenal, bro. I love that. I love the fact they celebrated with him. He's the highest paid pundit. Currently makes 10 mil. Listen, fair play to him. I'm glad he is. But he should still be at Arsenal in some capacity. But, you know, it's a shame. I would love to see Thierry at Arsenal. Look at Isak and his movement for his goal against Liverpool. Van Dijk was gutted. He got done by him. His movement's unbelievable. It's unreal. Zubi is going to Real. He's connected to Xabi Alonso. Yep, the Real Sociedad link. I think what they're saying is, if Ancelotti doesn't win the Champions League or the league, Real Madrid are going to sack him. Xabi Alonso will get the job. Xabi Alonso has close connections to Zubimendi through Real Sociedad, and Zubi then gets hijacked and goes to Real Madrid. If Zubimendi goes to Real Madrid instead of Arsenal, I will not be crying about it, let me tell you. But it depends who else we go for. Big up Mayor West. Thank you for becoming a new member. And Christian said the same thing. Did you see Panama celebrate with Henry? That aura of Thierry, it's just unrivaled. It's unrivaled. I kind of want to play the clip, but I've got to be very careful because I've been playing a lot of clips on here recently, and they're quick to copyright you for it. Do you know what? We'll just look at the picture. We'll just look at the picture. I won't take the chance because it's on CBS. But anyway, the picture was basically this. Wow, 94th minute. No wonder they went crazy. Look at this. These men are climbing over the thing. It's carnage. The aura is crazy, people. Panama, he ain't even got nothing to do with Panama. And they're like, yo, just get me to Thierry. Where's Thierry at? It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Thierry's the GOAT, man. Thierry's the GOAT. Real talk. He's the Arsenal GOAT. He's the Premier League GOAT, man. Yeah, man. It's a madness. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about... Do you know what? It's Friday to most people. It's Friday to most people. The weekend's upon us. But to Arsenal, it's Merch Friday, people. Not March Madness, Merch Madness. Arsenal drop new merch, people. You won't be surprised. You should never be surprised. It actually looks like merch that has been out before. I feel like I've seen this merch before in another season. T-shirt, tracksuit, shorts. It's all right. I mean, they're playing on the Invincibles again, and the burgundy and the gold. It's nice. It's nice. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. The T-shirt and the shorts on holiday this summer. I'll be honest. I can't promise I won't be wearing them shorts and T-shirt on holiday this summer. I'm going to admit it. I'm just going to admit it from now. So when I turn up wearing it, you're not angry. But I just won't buy it now because I'm in my feelings right now with Arsenal. But once the season's done and it's summer, and I can't guarantee it. I'll be totally honest. I really like the T-shirt. I feel like it's been out before and I didn't buy it. They know what they're doing. Drop the Invincibles colours. Oh, no. Oh, I hope it's still in stock in 6 weeks. Oh, damn. Anyway, it's the burgundy. I'm sorry. I'll be totally honest, people. It's the burgundy. I don't know what it is about the burgundy and Thierry and Highbury. I'm weak for it. I'll be honest, Daniel, you're spot on. I mean, I'm being totally honest. You've got to balance the books. You know, the tax year ends in April. So, you know, we got to balance things out. But I'll try. I'm going to try my best. Maybe if they beat Madrid and, you know, we get carried away, next day delivery. But I'll be honest, it's nice. It's a nice T-shirt. Yeah, the Nike. I actually wish Arsenal was sponsored by Nike. You know, I'm doing my bit. Yeah, I'm trying to put into the Isak fund. You know what I mean? I'm trying. But nah, I'm staying away for now. But summer, holiday, I can't promise you, but I'll try my best. Anyway, let's talk about what we talk. Man said you're gonna rock up in the next show. Not the next show. Let's at least give it a few weeks. If they beat Madrid, I'm doing next day delivery. Yeah, I'll be honest. I won't even wait for next day delivery. I'll drive to the Armory the next morning. Why wait for the delivery? And then they banging at the door. Then you got to check your emails, what time they're turning up. Then they interrupt the stream. Just drive there, try it on, make sure it fits nice. Get yourself straight home. Part-time party. Curtis, the merch man, I have the old one. I can't lie. I thought they'd re-release this. What's the difference? Is it the same thing as before? But it's the burgundy with the gold, man. It's a major problem. I'm going to be honest. It's a major problem. Speaking of problems, part of the problem. I know. To be honest, and I sit here, I say, we've got to get the Cronkays out. Then I say I'm buying new merch. It kind of doesn't add up, but just bear with me. We'll get there in the end, people. We'll get there in the end. Speaking of getting there in the end, will this guy have even maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks without getting injured? Riccardo Calafiori, a.k.a. Central C, a.k.a. he listens to drill music. Injured again, people. 5th injury of the season. Wow. We're only in March, and this guy's been injured 5 times this season. What is going on with Riccardo Calafiori? £40 million. This guy, and people say, oh, do you know what people say? Oh, we got to get rid of Tierney now, mate. He's too injury prone. Hello? Anybody there? I mean, I shouldn't. Brother, Look at the top picture, right? Musiala. Man's doing the splits. I thought he was doing the wacky dip. Wacky dip. Wacky dip. Look at that. Yo, I'm telling you now. That could be a bad injury. The only positive was he actually limped off the pitch. He wasn't stretchered off. Nothing like that. But he was limping after the game. Apparently he's getting a scan on it today. Injured again, people. Injured again. Honestly, at this point, just make him a mannequin inside the armory. When the new kit comes out, the new training kit, just put that on and just stand there as a mannequin. He'd probably get injured doing the mannequin challenge. He'd probably slip off the desk. I mean, what is going on here? And knee injuries are a massive concern because he's had a major knee injury as well before. And it happened in injury time. You know, we're probably 60 seconds away from the game finishing. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Honestly, this could become a disaster of a signing if he can't overcome these injury problems. Notice with Italy, he plays in a back three. He plays left of a back three. So this whole left back thing with Arsenal, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So the 180-page dossier didn't include his injury record. I mean, it seems not. I would love to know how you need 180 pages when you're reviewing a player. I mean, what is it? A storybook? Like, are they writing one word on each page with a picture? How can you write a 180-page report on a player? How can you need so much information? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Listen, in all seriousness, I really hope it's not a serious injury because, you know, we need everybody available at the moment. We need everybody available. And, I mean, the one good thing I can say is that we've got a whole heap of left backs. We got a whole left back is something we're definitely covered in that position, whether it's Lewis Skelly, Tierney, Zinchenko, whoever. Kivior, we've got multiple options, but Musiala's dribbling past him and he's slipped and his knee is like collapsing inwards. Doesn't look good, man. Let's hope that's not a serious injury, so get well soon. But yeah, definitely doesn't look good for Riccardo Calafiori, 5th injury of the season. And I got to be honest, people, he was the player that most people were saying, do you know what? Out of a poor transfer window, he's the one that has some sort of positivity around him that he could be a good player for us. You're now sitting here now saying this guy's a sick note already in his first season. Being a Prem player and playing at left back, it just doesn't seem to be helping him. Hey, big up Potsy for the raid, man. Hope you're well, bro. Shout out to Football's 12th, man. Make sure you go and subscribe to Potsy as well. We'll be back on next week. We'll have a show next week. I think it's on my channel next week. It was on his channel. So big up Potsy, man. So yeah, Calafiori. He said, I saw some of these quotes. One day on the phone, he was asked about Arteta. He said, one day on the phone, he sent me some photos of my family and asked me to say what each member of my family meant to me. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, right? And obviously, he's trying to get into the minds of the players and how they see things and all things like that. You know, when you do things like this, like the pickpockets, like the playing the You'll Never Walk Alone music, like having a dog on the training ground. If you win the league title, I'll fall back and say, Mikel, you're a genius. Right? You're a genius. If all that works. Cool. The dog, the pickpockets, the pictures, you won the league, I accept all of it. But brother, when you finish second 3 years in a row, you get a three-peat as a runner-up. No trophy in 5 years. I'm sorry, bro. I'm looking at it as corny as hell right now, bro. That's some corny stuff, bro. If my football manager rings me and sends me photos of my family, first of all, why are you screenshotting pictures of my family and sending them to me? What are you doing on my social media, getting pictures of my family? And then you're asking me what they mean to me. I don't need to tell you. I'll see you at training in the morning and hang the phone up. Honestly, you're right. Arteta moving like Drake. It's all corny to me. I'm telling you, I don't like it. Win the league or move on. I bet Slot ain't ringing Salah at 12 o'clock at night. Hi, Mo. How you doing, Mo? It's Arnie Slot. I'm your manager. Yes, I have pictures of your cousins. I want you to tell me what they all mean to you, Mo. Tell me right now. No, I don't think he's doing that somehow, is he? You know, he's just saying, listen, Mo, new deal. You're starting right wing. Can you score a goal for me, mate? I mean, it's corny. Corn Teta, bro, I'm telling you. No wonder Isak don't want to sign for us. He's going to ring him at 2 a.m. asking him what his brother means to him. And leave it, man. Win the title. That's all we need. Stop ringing players asking them what they mean, what their family means to them. What does the title mean to you, Mikel? That's what I want to know. This guy's a psychologist. Seriously, man, Mikel. It's crazy. Did you see what Calafiori said about Arteta? Yeah, we just spoke about that. It's crazy. 08, he said, I think left back's hurting him. He's a natural left back. Wow. The rest of it just went downhill real quick. It went so bad that I had to read it in silence. I mean, I understand the thought process, but I don't want us to go down that road. And I tell you what, I'm going to read the rest of it. But the road I don't want to go down as an Arsenal fan is that for Arsenal to make a big signing, we've got to sell a big player. I don't want us to ever have to go down that road anymore. We've been down that road and it doesn't work. Oh, we sell Sanchez to buy Aubameyang. You're in the same place. You know, you've sold one great player, signed another. You've got to add him to the next one. He said he's a natural centre-back. I would sell Gabby, buy Hato, smaller sacrifice for the greater good. So use the money for marquee signing like Rodrigo or Wirtz. I can't get with that school of thought. Rodrigo, I don't think leaves Real Madrid anyway. Wirtz, I think, might leave, but I think clubs will be ahead of us for him. Hato, not totally convinced by him either, to be honest. Gabriel, for me, is one of the least sellable players. If I had to create an order of players that I would sell, Gabriel would be one of the ones that I would be least interested in selling. I said this yesterday. I think he's one of the best players at Arsenal. And I would not sacrifice him at all. I get the thought, but I just wouldn't do it. Mr. Batter said, which player's 180-page dossier, if it was sold in the club store in a maroon binder with gold letterings? Oh yeah, it's the burgundy, bro. It makes us weak. It takes us back to greater times, you know. Marco, I had my whole holiday cancelled due to the madness at Heathrow this morning. Big up Big C in the community for lifting my spirits. Bro, I mean, I don't know what's happening. I'm out of the loop. I don't watch the news too much. I'm just typing in Heathrow now. What's going on at Heathrow? Sheer lunacy. Explosion. Is that what they're saying? It's saying Heathrow Airport shut down. A fire in a local substation caused an explosion. Oh, wow. So they're diverting planes all over the place. So he was going on holiday, explosion, holiday mashup. Well, make sure you try and get your money, bro. Big up, man. Appreciate you tuning in, Marco. And Marty said, I hear Cali aced the ink blot test. Bro, probably. You know what I mean? He probably completed a Rubik's Cube and got a move to Arsenal. You know, but crazy. Yeah, selling Gabby is nasty language to me. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I've seen it said Sir Curtis Kroenke sells Gabby after pounds, not trophy. Bro, if they get 100 million offer from Al Nassr, which we spoke about yesterday, I would be worried about Gabriel. I would really hope they don't sell him. I think he's one of our best players. Anyway, a couple more stories. Before we begin to round up, let's talk about Nico Williams, who scored last night for Spain, looked lively, and there was a report that Bayern Munich were winning the race to get him. I read a report yesterday saying that Barcelona now do not see Nico Williams as a priority signing due to Rafinha. last summer there was a thought process that Rafinha would be sold, Nico Williams would play on the left, Yamal would play on the right, which is obviously what they've got for Spain. Rafinha's been incredible this season, and obviously Barcelona are moving into their new stadium this summer, and there's a lot of financial issues going on at Barcelona. It now seems as if he may go elsewhere. The story coming out of Germany was they're saying it's not true that Bayern Munich are in the lead for Nico Williams. I think at the moment Williams is closer to a move to Arsenal than Bayern Munich, which I don't buy too much into that. This is just a report coming out of Germany that they think Arsenal are the team. We've heard before that Arteta is obsessed with him. And Junior said, I can see us getting Nico Williams only because Arteta is Basque. The only good thing about the gaffer, but he's a problem. And obviously, yeah, they're from that same part of Spain, Real Sociedad, Athletic Bilbao, all that sort of stuff. It seemed as if before Nico Williams had no real intention of leaving La Liga. But with Barcelona sort of falling back, I think it's quite well known that he's interested in leaving this summer. A lot of clubs in Europe are interested in him. £51 million release clause. He's on about 200 grand a week. So to get him, you're going to have to give him at least 250. Is he the best option? The disappointing thing about this season for me, well, apart from the fact it looks like we're going to be trophyless, is the fact we never signed Kvaratskhelia, who for me, for the last 2 years, has been one of the number one left wingers that I've wanted at Arsenal Football Club. I've said it for years. He should be the one that we go and get. We've missed out on him. I'm looking at other left wingers on the market now and going, it's not the strongest market if you're looking at left wingers that you could probably get out of their club. You're looking at Ademola Lookman. You're looking at Nico Williams. I think you could get Rafa Leao, but you would have to pay a king's ransom for him. His release clause is 100 million euros. Barcola's a young star at PSG, just come through. I don't think you get him out of there. The options are not that great beyond that, unless there's other options that you guys can think of. Gittins is another one. How good is he? How much would he cost? I'm not sure. Kvara was an absolute bargain of all bargains. 60 million for a 23-year-old that is that naturally talented and gifted. And we didn't make a move, I think is an absolute scandal. Scandal. They were willing, maybe. Arteta was willing to pay 60 million for Watkins. The club stopped it. But you wouldn't pay 60 million for Kvara. You could have got the left winger for 60 mil. And then you only need the striker in the summer. You're looking at a front line of Kvara, Saka, and hopefully a quality striker. Then I think Arsenal fans are sitting there going, we're serious now. We're a serious football club. Doué, I don't think would leave either. Young player. You know, PSG have got rich owners. Unless his contract is a little bit flimsy. And, you know, maybe you could get him. But let me have a look at his contract, actually. Akeem said, what I seen Nico do in the Euros was outrageous. If we can get that form out of him, it's crazy. If we sign Nico Williams, Arteta has to adapt. If he tries to play Nico Williams the way he uses Martinelli, don't even waste your time buying him. There's no point. You're just going to ruin him. You're going to make him spend half of the game defending. He won't have no energy to even attack. And then you're inverting your left back, which means he has nobody playing on that left-hand side. Arteta, for me, has to change the way we're playing. And what I mean by that is you've got to get the left-hand side of this Arsenal team cooking again. Our left-hand side has not worked for the last 18 months. It's a big part of the reason that we're being outscored by other teams. If you look at 2 years ago, Martinelli was on fire on the left. Xhaka as the left 8 was on fire. Zinchenko was brilliant going forward in that first season. Our left was cooking. The right-hand side, Ben White, Odegaard, Saka. Both sides of the pitch ripping you apart. For the last 18 months, our left-hand side of the team stinks. Absolutely stinks. Zinchenko's fallen out of the team. We've had Calafiori, Kivior, Tierney. Everybody's played at left back. The left 8 has not been fulfilled. Marino hasn't worked. Havertz hasn't worked. You're trying to play Rice there. I still don't think that's worked. The form of Xhaka in his last season, we still haven't found anybody to replace that. And then Martinelli has fallen off a cliff, and Trossard's fallen off a cliff. That we're a one-sided team. If you was playing against Arsenal, you'd say double up on Saka, be aggressive with Odegaard, and you cut off probably 70% of our attack. If we are going to be successful next season, and I'm saying next season, this season Champions League, but we don't expect to win the Champions League. We're hoping. We have got to get this left-hand side of our team cooking again. For me, the left back should not always be inverted. Sometimes, if it's Lewis Skelly or whoever, allow him to be a natural left back. Get forward, support the left winger. If you sign Nico Williams, he needs to be high up the pitch. Nico Williams is absolutely rapid. He would be the fastest player at Arsenal. You need him high up the pitch, full of energy, running at fullbacks. Now, my problem with Nico Williams is, how clever is he? I've seen Nico Williams destroy right backs for pace. I haven't seen him play in tight spaces with intelligence. Some of you guys have probably watched him more than me. The problem we've got now is 75% of clubs in the league come to the Emirates and they sit on the edge of the penalty area. How is Williams going to deal with that? Is he just a sprinter? Which Martinelli is a sprinter. Like you said, Abhinav, Mudryk is a sprinter. Those guys don't work unless they've got space to run into. Can this guy deal with a low block in the Premier League? Because if he can't, it's a 51,250 grand a week problem. He'll just be a Spanish Martinelli. So, I don't know. I don't know with Nico Williams. I'm excited by his pace because I don't think we've got enough pace. I think he's got a lot of potential. My concern is Arteta the manager to unlock that potential? He needs to change tactics. He's got to get a left 8 that helps the left winger. And he's got to allow the fullback to get forward sometimes. I mean, bro, Forsaken, again, I can't sit here and state enough how much of a mistake not signing Kvara was. Kvara is actually the kind of winger that I think suits Arteta's style of football because he's very technically gifted. He likes the ball to feet. He can drift into the 10. He's a better, quicker version of Trossard. Far better. But like technically can take the ball, can dribble, but he's quick, he can shoot. It was scandalous not to buy that guy for 60 mil. I just can't believe it. Nico Williams, I think he's the one we're going for, but you've got to adapt if you're bringing him to this team. Otherwise, he's going to look like Martinelli, just running. You know, but let's see what happens with that. Does he still end up at Barcelona anyway? Alex, thank you for the super chat. Big C, I'm a big fan, but what's wrong with Arteta using any way to convince a player to sign for the club? How is he going to win titles without signing players? The tactics is used by all managers. I mean, yeah, listen, I expect every manager to use tactics to sign players. No problem. However, number one, some of the players that you're signing are not that good anyway. You know, at this stage, I'm looking at Calafiori and saying that was a poor signing. I'm sorry, I am. I'm looking at that and saying Calafiori was not a good signing for £40 million. And what I'm saying is, listen, that's in isolation. I'm putting with all the other things. Pickpockets, taking your keys out your pocket at a meeting. We've got a dog on the training ground called Win. We're playing You'll Never Walk Alone 3 days before playing Liverpool, then go to Anfield and lose 4-0. To me, some of that stuff is corny, bro. Maybe it's just me. If it is, then, you know, it's my viewpoint. But playing You'll Never Walk Alone, going to Liverpool and losing 4-0, to me, that is not genius. That is stupidity. Oh, apparently DiMarzio's putting out breaking news about Calafiori. Let's get quotes. This does not look good if that is true. Let's get this up. Yeah, DiMarzio, 2 to 3 weeks, he's saying. 2 to 3 weeks. So it must have just be a slight left collateral ligament injury for Calafiori. Expected to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Let's get this up. It looks like it's not too bad. Not too bad, but obviously still not good. You're still looking at 2 to 3 weeks out injured. You're looking at a bit of recovery time on the back of that. That, you know, just to put that into context, people, that means he misses possibly both Real Madrid games. He's certainly going to miss the first one. Initial assessment of Ricardo Calafiori is that he suffered collateral damage of the knee between the first and second degree. Awaiting the full report. If confirmed, he will likely be out for 2 to 3 weeks. He's dodged a bullet. This is definitely positive news. I mean, he will miss Madrid at home, certainly. But it could be longer than that. You know, but who knows? Hopefully 2 weeks, nothing more than that. But still, it means he potentially misses Madrid. Now, I'll tell you something, people. We better make sure Miles Lewis-Skelly gets through international duty fine because, you know, all of a sudden, MCL can heal, but he already injured it this season, I thought. He's got problems with his knee, hasn't he? He's got problems, man. Poor signing, I got to be honest. He hasn't impressed me defensively anyway. Brian said, I told you yesterday I don't trust this training staff. They will end careers if we let them. Yeah, there's something not right, man. I mean, when we were signing Calafiori, I'd heard a little bit about him, just that a lot of clubs were interested in him. I'd never really watched him play prior to the Euros, if I'm being honest. I'd watched Bologna once or twice when I thought we were being linked with Xerxes. And I saw him a couple of times, but I didn't take a lot of notice of him. But for Italy, he was impressive. But he was in a back three. He was in a back three, so they had wing-backs, DiMarco and them, doing all that running up and down the wing. So he wasn't getting dragged too much into wide areas. We've brought him to Arsenal. He's had an ACL injury at a young age. And we're playing him left-back and getting him to bomb up and down the touchline and defend against all these electric right wingers. And then now we're wondering why he's had 5 injuries in one season and we're only in March. You know, it's been a tough season for him, man. Is he built for the Premier League? Is he built to play at left back and have to do all that running? Arteta needs to adapt. I think Arteta is causing Calafiori more problems than he's already got. I always say, if you want a left back, sign a left back. Look at his injury record, Big C. He done ACL, etc. One of his knees got hella scars from all the surgery. Tony said he actually shattered his knee early on in his career. The fact he can play is a medical miracle. I mean, fair play to him. I'm glad he's playing. But why would they think he could deal with the Premier League and also playing out of position? It doesn't really make sense. But it is what it is. They know more than me, but 5 injuries in one season doesn't really suggest they do know that much, to be honest. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Anyway, let's wish a happy birthday to the young star boy, Ethan Nwaneri. It's his 18th birthday today. What a player. And according to Isaac Khan in the Mail, he said Arsenal are closing in on a new long-term contract for Ethan Nwaneri. Mail Sport understands the proposed deal is up to 5 years in length. Got to be done. The guy is a star. I'm just looking here at his current wages. Arsenal, wow, his current wage is £3,000 a week. It was his first contract as a professional after being promoted from the youth team. £3,000 a week. Arsenal are set to offer him £60,000 a week on a 5-year contract. Bro, you about to upgrade your car, your house, your clothes. 3K. 3K a week. Wow. To 60 bags. Jeez. 3K a week, bro. Man's earning like what? 156 grand a year. You're about to make 240 grand a month, bro. 60K is a mad upgrade. It's too much. He's got to get that. He's got to. I'll be honest with you. I get annoyed when we're giving him 100 and 120 to Reece Nelson. 60 bags for 5 years is calm. Are we doing the England game tonight? Do you guys, just briefly, do you want to watch along for the England game, or is it just too boring it's not worth watching? I've done England games on here before, and I've been hanging on for dear life. Would you tune in, or is it a waste of time? I'll be honest, I'm a man of the people. Is it worth watching? They're playing Albania, I think. Is it CONCACAF tonight? Do you know what? I need to start doing some different ones. The late night ones in South America are probably a better vibe, to be honest. What we got going on tonight? Who's actually playing tonight? What we got? I think those games are actually more exciting. A little midnight Argentina or Brazil or something. Did they play last night? I think some of them played last night. Because these England games are painful sometimes. So, is it Argentina, Uruguay? Is that tonight? All right, we'll have a look. Keep your notification bell on. England is terrible to do. You'll watch England on your own. They are bad. They are bad to watch. Brazil played last night. I saw Vinicius. Didn't he get taken down for the penalty? Yeah, England. I'll put something on the community page. I'll look through the fixtures. And I'll put something on the community page. You guys can vote. Brazil v Colombia. Vinny scored a banger. To be fair, yeah, I've watched Arsenal all season. So England, probably not much worse. But it could be Lewis Skelly's debut. Although I've been reading that Dan Burn's going to play at left back. So it might not be Lewis Skelly's debut, to be fair. So we'll see. Argentina, I think, play tonight. I should have prepared for this, really, shouldn't I? I'm looking at the fixtures now, but this is what happens on live YouTube, people. Who is playing tonight? Do we do a late night stream or do we do England? Brazil. Uruguay, Argentina, 11:30. That might be more engaging, to be honest. What channel is it on? Well, we can find. All right, okay. We'll have a look. We'll put something on the community page. To be honest, if Lewis Skelly's starting, I kind of want to do the England game to see his debut, but I saw a predicted lineup and Dan Burn was at left back, so that's why I lost all enthusiasm to do the game. But Declan Rice will be there. I mean, we'll see. We'll throw it on the community page. Might make more sense to do Argentina if Messi's playing. But yeah, we'll throw it on the community page. Jamaica play tonight, yeah. Jamaica need to qualify for the World Cup, man. If Jamaica qualify for the World Cup, I am actively at that World Cup. Oh, they're playing St. Vincent. They'll beat St. Vincent. Oh, it's Gold Cup. It's not even World Cup qualify. Messi is out. Yeah, we're in big trouble. Messi's out. If Jamaica make the World Cup, I'm going to World Cup 2026. I'll be there for weeks. Nah, not weeks, but I'll be over there, man, actively. They haven't been in a World Cup since '98, bro. If Jamaica don't qualify for this World Cup, I'm not sure they'll ever qualify. With the fact that America, Canada, and Mexico are already there as hosts, Jamaica have got a free run at qualification. If they don't qualify, just lock it off and go back to cool runnings. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's rumours Greenwood will be in the Jamaica squad for the World Cup, to be honest. Anyway, people, I'm out of here. We've been live for an hour. Big up to everyone locked in. Nearly 2,000 of you in the chat. Hit the like button and subscribe. On your way out, I've got some short form videos coming out over the weekend. One about Berta, the new contracts. One about where I think Arsenal got it wrong this season. So we're going to get 2 or 3 videos out on the channel. So keep an eye out for some of the short content as well. Big up to everyone locked in. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'll put a vote on the community page about watch-alongs. Do we do the England game or do we do something else? Keep an eye out for that. Keep it locked. Take care. Enjoy your Friday. And I'll see you all soon, people. Bless.